and welcome to the Thread to Men podcast. My name's Taylor, and I come to you from Baltimore, Maryland, and this is a podcast about all things fiber related. I mostly touch on the subjects of knitting and spinning, and in this episode, I have to show off a new finished object of 2020. It is the Tonnach Cardigan by Kate Davies. I believe that is the pronunciation, although I could stand to be corrected. So please speak up if you know the correct pronunciation of this pattern design. It is knit with a few different yarns from my stash. So I could list them off for you. I used Jameson of Shetland for the pattern and most of the sweater. And then for just the cuffs, I used Jameson and Smith 2-ply jumper weight in, like I mentioned, I think it's FC44. So the orangey red I had in my stash when I purchased yarn for the Ella yoke sweater I've previously made. I did end up using different colors for that yoke, so I never ended up using the original colors that I actually bought when I picked up the cone for the body. But it's all in my stash and it'll be knit through one day, but I used that here. This is my hand spun. It is Shetland wool that's a sticker. Yeah, I don't know, apple or something. But I picked up at Port Fiber in Portland, Maine, a braid of, I think the colorway is lichen Shetland wool, and I spun that into a 2-ply to match the cone of Jameson and Smith that I ordered to make some mitts. So I used up most of that skein finally, and then I have these, this is just one row in this pattern repeat, but this color here and the yellow are both Rama yarns that I picked up from the Woolly Thistle, impulsively, just wanting to test it out, see what the colors are like. I got 2 colors that I can't find in every yarn producer, I guess. I think like they just have a lot of good colors. So I picked up a couple random ones that I had no intention for making. I wanted to kind of build a palette, and when they arrived, I honestly had no idea what I would ever use them for. So I'm really, really glad that this project came together, and it's now finished. I played the most epic game of yarn chicken that I must tell to you. So I mentioned in my previous episodes, if you've been keeping up with the podcast, if you're not, if you are new to the podcast, hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you're a returning viewer, you already know this. I was planning to modify it for the sleeve, which was absolutely necessary. And I did the pattern exactly all the way through till the very last repeat. And then I realized that my scale is not at all accurate in terms of measuring how many grams exactly it takes to knit each repeat. So I was thinking about doing, instead of 4 rows of the green I was running out of, just 2. But maybe I should have done that 1 repeat sooner to do that. So what I had the yarn to do was exactly 1 row for each color transition on each sleeve. So that was just 4 rows total. And I did it. And I'm telling you that I had just enough yarn to tie in a knot and be done with it. It was like, I have no yarn left over to show you from this game of yarn chicken, whatever. It was just incredible. I'm so glad. Because I would have been, I would have just used the yellow if I had to like knit 4 or 5 stitches to join the round. I would have done that. It would have bugged me, but it would have been like almost unnoticeable anyway. So anyway, I'm just really feeling glad about that. I'll stand up and show it to you now. I did sew on the buttons this morning. I blocked the sweater overnight, and I wish I had time to kind of reblock it with the buttons because I feel like they're a little like loosey-goosey. But I'm wearing it open today with my Novelli tee beneath it. I feel like that color is a nice pop from the inside. Kind of matchy-matchy and like loud with the color work at the bottom. It's really nice and loose. This sweater tee beneath it has quite a thick, it's like a double knit, double layered sleeve, and this actually fits really well beneath it. The drop sleeve is nice and open. The sleeves are rather loose. Even the cuffs are like quite loose. I don't know if the original is like that or if that was intended, but that's just how mine turned out according to the instructions. The back does sit a little higher, sort of, kind of, because it is a cardigan. It kind of hangs down and open, but it's nice and long. It's like a full length. So really like it. It's so like warm though, and not warm like temperature, but it's like the colors are really rich and warm. I don't have a ton of clothes that I want to wear it with, so I'm gonna try to quietly build more of a wardrobe around this piece, and hopefully that will all match everything else. So thinking like a bottom that's not too dark or too brown, but not like cool and summery, something that's kind of autumnal to match. You know, it would be really cool is like a warm plaid. I have these pants on that I got from, I actually bought from Ella Gordon. So these are like my, I don't know, little knitting world pants. I just feel like such a, yeah, American. Like importing everything I can from Shetland just to try to not be here now in the United States. We won't focus on world events. We'll just focus on the yarn right now. Okay, I bought yarn. I didn't buy yarn for myself. I bought yarn for a friend, so it doesn't count. One sec, I'm gonna drink my coffee, check the time. Okay, my friend Blair asked if I want to stay at her house in upstate New York, Rhinebeck weekend, and I got really excited, and I decided I was going to knit her the weekender sweater because I'm going up for the weekend and we'll go to Rhinebeck and it will be awesome. So I immediately hunted down the exactly right yarn substitution for Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. Not that I don't love Brooklyn Tweed, I just can't really afford it. Although I wanted a woolen spun, lofty, scrumptious, maybe farm yarn or something. I wanted something that wasn't highly processed, you know, where the vegetable matter hasn't been like burnt out of it. I wanted something woolen spun, like I mentioned, but just something more affordable because I knew that I was not going to be knitting for myself, that I would be putting myself in some other knitter's shoes and knit their size, which is not what I'm used to. And so it had to be affordable just for the yardage. And I bought 4 skeins from Elsa Wool. I have the ball band here, but this is 1 skein. It is a monster. They're 4 ounces. It's great. It's like, I mean, totally different world. When you got to pull out the calculator for real when you're kind of shopping for price and yardage and all the things. I did not buy the worsted weight Elsa Wool yarn for this pattern. The pattern calls for worsted weight yarn, but when I took the yardage or the grams per skein and I divided it by the yardage or whatever, and I did the math, the sweater yarn was right in the middle of the 2, sport weight and worsted weight. And I would rather have a lighter sweater than a heavier sweater. And I'd rather deal with a gauge that is a little bit smaller than bigger. It's just what I prefer. I don't love heavy fabrics unless I know I'm making like an outer garment. And I feel like this weekender sweater is not an outer garment. It's a layering piece. It's something you wear next to skin. They are not a woolly person, so I wanted it to be really ultra soft, which, oh my god, this is. It's like a bunny. It's soft like a bunny. It's kind of velvety. Anyway, so it's $21 for 4 ounces. So it's a really good deal. And it's 350 yards. Sport weight. And I will be completely honest with you. I have bought, I received for Christmas like 2 or 3 years ago now, a couple skeins from their website. And I noticed their website is still the same. I don't know if it's the same clip, the same like yarn. I'm guessing it might be, because the skeins that I got in the mail, like they, I sniff all my yarn and they just had a storage smell, like a mild, I don't want to say mildew because I don't want to say the worst, like I don't want to assume anything. It just had a kind of like it wasn't sheepy. Like some yarn is like so sheepy you can't even get the sheep smell out of it. I won't name names. It was not like that, but I did want to wash it before working with it, and so I just washed one skein and it smells so good. Like I kind of want to wash all my yarn now before I knit with it, but I'm glad that I did. I just say that up front in case you decide to purchase from them and that throws you off. It doesn't make a difference, I think, to the actual product if it's something that you can work with. But I wanted to like let you know I totally did that. That was a thing I did. So I'm really glad I washed it because I feel good smelling it now and it smells so good. So this is going to be a weekender. I just have to knit it sometime between now and October. So we have like February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. I won't count the month of October. So that gives us 8 months. I've knit 1 sweater already this year. I can do this. I think I'm going to cast it on, and I think it might be a background project to my Yell cardigan, which I think I want to wear to Rhinebeck. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I need to wrap my head around that first, because I think if I just cast this on, I'll just do it until it's done, which is basically what I did with this pattern here, this sweater design project here. So, and then I want to get to my Michelle Wong cardigan thing, because I think that's really what I want to wear to Rhinebeck. I don't know. Obviously, these are not the most important things to consider in the world, but it's just one really pleasant distraction from it all. I have to go to work soon. I waited too long to record this podcast this morning, I think. So it's going to have to be short. And I know some people prefer long podcast episodes and some prefer shorter episodes. And I'll be honest with you, they are whatever they are each week. Some weeks they're long, some weeks they're short. Not a lot of new stuff happening here in the house. Work's good. My sweater's done. This is exciting. I just been sweater knitting like a fiend. So I guess it'll be nice to take a breath between projects, but I'm more eager to just cast on the next thing. I think that this is a true coping mechanism right now for me, just to focus on a thing for it's almost like my mind is so active that to just not sort of spin out of control. I just need my hands busy doing like a tactile or repetitive task that focuses the mind on a single thing. So, I don't know, makes me feel a little bit more grounded. And it's really fun to have progress made from week to week. Like that's one thing that I feel is another motivator, is just having the opportunity to share it with you every week and kind of setting a deadline for myself. Like on Tuesday, I want to record. On Tuesday, I want to have this ready. And it just helps me move that much faster and more steadfast. So I just want to thank you for that. You are a big motivator for me here to get things done. So I'll be casting on 1 or 2 things soon. I have a ton of projects queued for the year. So we'll see which one comes up next in the Thread to Mend podcast. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Taylor E. Owen. I do enjoy checking out people's project pages on Ravelry, so go ahead and friend me there. I love to kind of browse what people are updating and scroll through those knitting projects and checking those out. But I am most active on Instagram on a daily. So if you want to find me there to connect with me, let me know you're watching the channel, or where you come from, or a little about you. I'd love to get to know you and find out, where in the processing of fiber or yarn are you most passionate? Because I really am passionate too, and I feel like what better way to get together and share the things that we love. So I hope that you're well and you have a great day, and I will see you all soon. Bye.